cantina owner. I am going to be leaving. This is not going to be a long one. And Midnight's Edge is going to do a more in-depth look into Iger's tirade at what's become of Disney since Bob Chapek had to come in and fix what was broken. That Bob Iger broke his legacy. And what is his legacy? Bob Iger's legacy is Reimagine Tomorrow, which is basically telling everybody on the planet that perverts and mental cases, nutbags, and people who want to destroy your children's childhood are perfectly fine being activists working for Disney. Yesterday I did a video on that. Please check it out. That is his legacy. His legacy is the destruction of Star Wars and now the fading light of Marvel and allowing woke little bitches at Pixar to chase the only person at Pixar that was making any sense, the head of Pixar, out because he hugs people. Anybody wants to argue with me about John Lasseter is going to get beaten over the head because he was railroaded. And I still believe that Kathleen Kennedy has something to do with it because I believe strongly he was tapped to run Lucasfilm. Okay? She had to get him out of there. And this is typical though. Culture was in the made lead-up chat for today's show, or Midnight's Edge in the Morning lead-up chat to the show, basically saying that, he's trying to protect his people. Well, I don't see how he can do that. First off, the hubris of this jackass staggers the imagination. But we're dealing with a guy who's a little tiny dude, and he's got a Napoleon complex. Okay, he's a short little shit. He's a little dude. Okay, and he wanted to take Disney in a direction that was the antithesis of what Disney is. If Walt was alive, he would have destroyed him. If Roy was alive, he would have destroyed him. Michael Eisner, the shit he gets. Disney was extremely successful under Michael Eisner. Let's talk about Bob Iger's legacy again. Reimagine Tomorrow and LaToya Raveneau, LaTondra Newton, Kari Burke, to being disgusting, vile oinks. Peter Rice, guilty white Brit, okay? Throwing all this trash into Star Wars. Holdo, Rose Tico's rant about rich people. Marvel. I mean, look how how they've effed up Marvel. And now you get Miss Marvel, which is basically a decent show, and no one wants to watch it because of the trash they did to Loki and WandaVision. Okay? I mean, the High Republic was started under him, and they can't get rid of it. It's like a tumor. Look, let's say like you walk into your bathroom and you see a little bit of mold. You wipe it off. The next day it's back. Bigger. That's the High Republic. All right? Now we've got a rumor from Jason, the groomer Ward. It seems like all these people kind of drift together. All right? All these weirdos. He's perfect for Disney under Bob Iger. Saying that Leslie Headland is in talks to get the director of Loki to do her Acolyte project. I got WW Pro and Valiant Renegade on it, and I also alerted Doomcock to it. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I sent it to Cameron, but he hasn't mentioned it yet. But that's his legacy. This trash. This activist, sexually frustrated trash. Hey, Jay. And it's like, why would you want to admit, hey, Dave, why would you want to admit that you had anything to do with that? You know, it's like, I look at him and but he doesn't like these people. He doesn't have anything to do with these people. But here we are. Him crying about Bob Chapek taking Disney and trying to fix what was broken, what he broke, and blaming Chapek for it. It's like, look, dude, when did he get to be CEO of Disney? What, in 2008? He was there for 15 years. Okay. This is, in the last 6 years, is when all this trash started to occur. Like when TFA came out. Okay. Trash, actual romance between Han and Leia. Han's a deadbeat dad. Leia never paid any attention to that, whatever it was, that's supposed to be their son. I'm still not sure if Adam Driver's human. Then we get to TLJ. Passed on the first draft. Kathy Kennedy gave it to Iger. Iger's like, oh, it's so good. I love it. Let's do it this. And the movie made $1.3 billion. Meanwhile, which basically lost about $700 million off of what TFA made. By the time The Rise of Palpatine showed up, basically, instead of making an extra billion, which is what they were forecast to do, from 2.06 to 3 billion, it went to 1 billion, barely scratching the surface. And oh, by the way, I'm not sure if that movie made any money. Okay. And oh, also, Iger allowed Kennedy to not pay any attention to her job, and Soilo turned into a mess. Okay? And yet here he is. Let's talk about Marvel. Kevin Feige, riding on the success of Jon Favreau and others, gets to Endgame, and then all this crap for Phase 4 started with Bob Iger. Okay, let's talk about the parks. Reimagine Tomorrow, Destroying Splash Mountain. That was on Iger's term. Taking those beautiful paintings out of Epcot and putting the Princess and the Frog in there because black girls need to be seen. Are you fucking kidding me? You know, hey, Orange Grove, you know, that's exactly what it is. It's reimagined yesterday because it's over. Okay, they know it's over too. Now, oh, Galaxy's Edge. Yeah. They're to the point where they're about ready to break sod and get going to building that. We're going to change it from the original trilogy to the sequel trilogy because there's more movies ahead than behind. I can't stop laughing every time I think of that. Taika Waititi's not getting his movie. Ryan Johnson has moved on. Rogue Squadron will never be made. What a business genius. I mean, Bob Iger taking any sort of advice from that nitwit, Kathy Kennedy, is like me taking advice from a poodle. I mean, you know, he had to have gone, but, and I'll tell you something, he will say he did not make a mistake. Again, the ideas behind what we do here, Star Wars, you are responsible for your own decisions, okay? We saw that played out in Revenge of the Sith. You have done that yourself, Obi-Wan says to Anakin, okay? And in Kenobi, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. Anakin taking responsibility for being a psychotic mess, finally, okay? That wasn't Vader saying that, that was Anakin. All right, okay, that was him. All right, we were talking about a character based in such duality. It's hard to maneuver. Okay, if this never occurred to Iger when he bought Lucasfilm, that he was taking a lot of cultural lessons that were supposed to be learned in all this. Okay, isn't just a fun popcorn movie. It never really was. Okay. All right, especially when you get into the prequels. Oh, no, no, no. All right. The idea. I mean, again, the legacy. Thank you. The legacy here. Thank you, Orange Grove. This is such a great script. I think we should pass it on the first draft and it should just be filmed this way. No rewrites. I'm talking about TLJ. No, hey Joe, this isn't really gonna work. None of that. Okay, we've got just stupidity. And now he's complaining that Chapek is actually probably going to. I gotta get Mike to send me that article. Start telling people Disney headquarters and the studio, Pixar, etc., are moving to Florida. If you don't want to come, find another job, which is exactly what's going to happen. You know, oh yeah, definitely, Dave. So it's really interesting to me that he's bitching and moaning that Bob Chapek is doing the things that he planned to do. And the reason why is because he's moderating the tone. All right. If you watch that hostage video, Bob Chapek looked like he was going to strangle somebody at the end of it. Okay? You don't want to do that. You want to do that. And now Iger knows he didn't want to do that. All right, and I know why he's screaming and moaning. Is because somebody probably watching my channel, reading that Park Place, Valiant Renegade, Midnight's Edge, told Bob Iger that they're moderating the tone and we're not going to have any of our precious woke religion in our entertainment anymore. Okay? Look, every time someone says it's too late, we're talking about things. We're talking about things, not people. Okay? Hey, Lord Trennan. And the idea that you can't save a franchise or that it's dead is so stupid. Hey, Rave Girl. Move along, Bob. No kidding. I mean, the thumbnail for this, I sent it to him and said, this is your legacy. Choke on it. Okay? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, all this crap that's gone down since March is him harassing Bob Chapek with his little minions inside. They're going to go now, and they know it. The people at Pixar started this shit, they're gone. Look at how bad Lightyear did, okay? Kevin Feige, with how bad Thor is actually really doing, he's going to go. Now, Iger can say, well, my movies made money. Well, guess what, Bobby? You were riding on the coattails of Jon Favreau. And, oh, who was the other guy? The guy that was forced out because he's a Trump supporter. I can't remember his name, but he was basically the head of Pixar, okay? And Kevin Feige took over. Mr. I want as much attention and as much... Oh, I know that, right? You know, all this attention, and I want as much recognition from the club as I possibly can get. So I'm going to add all this woke garbage and allow Latondra Newton. You saw her video yesterday. She's never going to live this down. Dictate to us what we put in our movies. Okay, I mean, what? I think in one of the next novels, there is a clone trooper who's trans. They go figure that fucking thing out. Okay, it's a clone. It's a clone. You know? What the fuck? It's just, look, this is some of the funniest shit I have ever heard in my life. Okay, the stones he has after what he left Disney, the problems. Oh, here's another one. $100 billion in debt because he just had to buy Fox Studios and Searchlight. He has, they've yet to do anything with it. I'd start selling it piece by piece to pay off that debt. That's what I would do. Then, when the coup fits, borrow 11 billion here, 11 billion there, 11 da 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 da, they get $200 billion in debt. It's like, I actually can't anymore. I mean, he has got to be the worst businessman I have ever come across in my life. I'm sure when, Elon Musk looks at him and goes, stay away from me. I look at all the great CEOs back in the day, Lee Iacocca. You think of the names of people that ran companies and how good they were at what they did. You give the customer what they want. Susan Arnold knows that. I can't imagine her getting along with this little nitwit. Oh yeah, they did. Of course they did. First off, let's see. This is Bob Iger. All right. This is Bob Iger. Okay. Kathy Kennedy spent $225 million on Solo. Didn't watch any of the dailies till it was 80% done. Didn't listen to a word that idiot Larry Kasdan was saying about how bad it was. Saw the dailies finally and went, oh shit. Had Ron Howard refilm 80% of it. We're told. Okay, that's Bob Iger. Right there. A division head is such an incompetent jackass, and he doesn't pay any attention, let her do whatever she wants. I'm not talking about micromanaging anybody. I don't believe in that. But if you're hearing stuff coming out of that division that isn't good, you have to check it out. Don't ya? Yeah, I said that, Dave. He absolutely did nothing as a leader. He just instilled all this woke activism shit, destroyed the company in debt through all this activism. And there you go. Okay? And I just go, you know what? I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. Okay, I can't. I'm literally speechless at what I've been seeing. Okay? The idea that he can attack Bob Chapek for trying to fix what he was broken again. Look at what's happened. Look at what started to happen when he was CEO. Star Wars was the first to fail. Badly. Horribly. Is it his fault? They stopped making feature films because of it. But he will not take the responsibility. This is psychosis on steroids, you guys. Okay, and at noon, here, I gotta go. But I wanted to throw my 2 cents in because I'm stunned by the hubris. The pretensions of this person to criticize somebody for trying to clean the mess he made is outrageous in my opinion. Outrageous. I'm like, When are you going to learn? But again, Democrats in general are incapable of personal responsibility. They are. They're incapable of personal responsibility. I have never met one who'll sit there and go, my bad. You will never hear Bob Iger say, I made bad decisions. First bad decision, keeping Kennedy. Should have went out and got Rick McCallum and brought him back. Second bad decision, listening to Kennedy about Galaxy's Edge. Third bad decision, allowing TLJ, the rise of the Force Awakens to be made the way it was. And telling George, we don't need you. And allowing that, and then basically, I don't even know what that was. Was that an apology to George? In his autobiography that was going to get him to be president. You know? Was that an apology? Fuck you, Iger. Fuck you, jerk. You know, I'm literally speechless at some of this. I don't know what to even say. I mean, but again, it is typical Democrat behavior. It's typical leftist behavior. They will, first off, they're the biggest bigots on the planet. I heard some YouTuber say something shitty about Southern Americans. And it's like, you don't really know any Southern Americans, you arrogant, judgmental, bigoted fop. Okay? Leftists are bigots. They're racists. They're also immature. They are all about fifis and not up here, the brain, okay? Not thinking. They're incapable of thinking. I don't know one that does, okay? They're arrogant. They're condescending. This is all Bob Iger, okay? All right. He will never admit any of those decisions that I mentioned here, his legacy, were poor decisions, okay? He won't allow anybody to blame Kennedy, but I guarantee you he blames her. When he was the ultimate person who had to do it, who actually said, okay, we'll do it. He could have told her, no, Kathy, this has already been set. Okay. And Dave is right. They're not the big picture of the long haul. He doesn't know what the big picture is. The big picture dances around Bob Iger. That's what it does. Okay. This is going to be a mess that will follow Disney along for the long haul. Okay, guys? Right. It's the mess that will not go away right away. Because, first off, getting rid of the woke-stanians and getting Disney back into a place where it's back to being what it was, okay, it's going to be a tough thing. Because Chapek's got the media against him. He's got the Hollywood Club against him. Now, the rest of us are like, please fix what was broken, please. So we're fine, right? All right. But he's got the board on his side and Susan Arnold on his side. The fact that Iger had to go public like a pussy just proves that he is not a man. Okay? He can't say, I made bad decisions. All right? I mean, when he said George felt betrayed, you betrayed him. You did, you fucker. You did. Okay? You did. You did that. You did that. You did that yourself. Okay, I gotta go. So you guys behave, be well, be safe, and I will see you around the galaxy. And I'm gonna try to listen in on Midnight's Edge and be in the chat, but at 1 o'clock I gotta go get my hair colored. So I'll take you guys, go to Midnight's Edge from here. Okay, see you around the galaxy.